Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Efrain Torres and I'm representing my team at Adialante. So over 500,000 stroke patients in the US alone don't receive care in time. Now these delays in diagnosis are the reason why stroke is the third leading cause of death and leading cause of disability worldwide. Now the confounding thing about these numbers is that we have a solution. MRI can readily diagnose strokes in less than 30 minutes, fast enough to save lives and improve the quality of care. But the problem with MRI systems as they're designed today is that they're fundamentally a limited solution. Their immense cost, complexity, and size limits who has access. So despite a global demand for high-quality stroke diagnostics, only 10% of the world has access to MRI systems. And that's what Adialante is working on. We're working on to reduce these delays in diagnosis by developing AdiaBrain. AdiaBrain is a compact, effective, and affordable MRI solution. Our system is grounded in the value propositions of accessibility while not sacrificing on high-quality imaging. These systems are powered by some pretty incredible technology covering 8 different pieces of IP in the US, European Patent Office, Brazil, and Japan. Now, these systems and the technology that powers this, I say it's incredible because it really is. This technology can dramatically simplify MRI's hardware. We can design systems that are low cost in their hardware architectures from the beginning, have lower costs of ownership, and smaller footprints. Overall, our scanners at any field strength that we choose to pursue and any form factor are cheaper, smaller, and simpler. Now, in terms of where we are in our technology, we're past the point of feasibility. Our technology works. And the images you see on your right and to my left are proof of that. And I don't want to undersell our team's feats when it comes to these images. So what we did is we ported our software and our patented imaging techniques into existing MRIs. But there was a twist. We had removed a third of the hardware. If you do that with nearly any system in the world, it becomes useless. But because of our imaging techniques, we were able to produce brain images with no noticeable drop in diagnostic value. Now, we've explained this to engineers in the field, and we've had reactions from that should be impossible to how are you even doing that? But it's not impossible. The images and the technology and the publications behind it show the validity of this technology. And this is the reason why when you compare our systems to the status quo, we're a fraction the weight, size, and cost of traditional MRI. Not only that, but we've designed our systems for the future. We don't use any liquid helium in any of our systems. Liquid helium is a precious renewable resource that the world is running out of. Yet many of today's systems still use liquid helium. We'll be sidestepping all of the future supply chain issues by not having any liquid helium in our system. Now, if you ever had an MRI system, I'm sure you're familiar with the loud banging that are in scanners. Well, that's actually the hardware we removed. So our systems, as a benefit, are entirely silent, meaning a better patient experience for pediatrics and adults, because I don't think anyone likes that experience. Now, for our initial target market, we'll be pursuing the emergency departments and emergency rooms. These are clinics that have established clinical workflows for MRI. They have an acute need for systems treating stroke patients every day. They know how to use MRI systems. They have MRI technologists. It's a perfect place for our systems. And at the cost that we're offering, it's a huge value proposition in terms of the affordability and clinical value we'll be providing. Now, of course, EDs and ERs aren't the only places that need MRI systems. I talk about that global demand, and it's true. So we'll be pursuing urgent cares, rural clinics, and a global international imaging market that currently has no access to MRI systems. But to reach these new markets, accessibility isn't just about cost. If they don't have technologists or telehealth radiologists, the scanner is just as useless. So in the future, we want to pursue additional revenue paths by offering upgraded service contracts that include remote technicians and telehealth radiologists. So when it comes to purchasing our systems, all they have to do is pull the trigger on the cost, and we'll bring everything with it. so that these markets that don't have access to MRI and have never used it can readily adopt our systems. Now, the reimbursement pathway for MRI in the US is crystal clear, the CPT code 70551. But the great thing with our system is because it's affordability, the potential ROI is massive. When you're doing 10 scans per week, during the paying period of our system, you're already breaking even. And if you end up doing 40 scans per week, you have the potential of generating $0.6 to $1.2 million of revenue. That's again during the paying period. Now you may ask, is 40 scans a week even possible? Well, clinics right now do about 30 a day. So we think 20 and 40 a week is more than amenable considering the great demand for stroke and other diagnostics. Now, of course, we're not the only people in this space. The first to commercialize a portable brain scanner was Hyperfine, and they honestly did a great job when it comes to their affordability, accessibility, and simple UI. But we spoke to clinicians across the country and customers that passed on Hyperfine, and everyone said the same thing. The poor image quality. They don't trust the image quality. Some even expressed legal concerns about making diagnoses on their images. But because of our technology, we can actually meet them at their price point with a field value that's high enough to produce images that are 6 to 7 times better. So we don't have to skimp on the image quality. So we can learn from what Hyperfine did right and fix what they did wrong. Now what we've done is we've assembled a team of PhD experts in engineering and titans in the field of MRI and commercialization, all dead set on the goal of commercializing audio brain and making steps towards disrupting the larger MRI industry. Of course, we'll be growing our team to cover expertise in business development and further commercialization and manufacturing. Now, to date, we've raised $1.3 million in non-dilutive grants and private investments. We're seeking $3.5 million to fund the completion of our device. The device is designed, suppliers are lined up, we're ready to pull the trigger as soon as we have the funds. Now today, I spoke about stroke and the use case of audio brain, but I want to make something clear here. Our technology isn't just for the head. We can target any field and form factor. We're beginning with the head so that we can reduce the amount of capital we need to get to market and get to market faster. But in the future, Adialante's goal is to reduce the delays in diagnosis in strokes, traumatic brain injuries, cancers, and any disorder that MRI can treat, so that we can tap into that global demand for high-quality diagnostics. Now, if you're interested in learning about us, feel free to reach out to me or my co-founder, Parker Jenkins. We invite you to join us on this journey. Thank you.